Hi, and welcome to DH Squared. Today, I'm going to be showing you how to convert your Panasonic bathroom fan slash light fixture from a compact fluorescent bulb over to an LED bulb. So it's not just as easy as removing the fluorescent bulb and putting in an LED. That would probably damage the LED and you'd be replacing it again right away. So I'm going to be showing you how you need to bypass the ballast in the light fixture on this unit. So first step will be to take down this plastic covering that's over your fan.
So once you take the plastic cover off, you're going to want to clean it up good inside, try to get as much dust out of here and stuff in there. But the way it comes out is you have these spring clips. They're a little bit hard to do, but you just got to squeeze those when it's up on the fixture to pull this out. That's how it looks. That's how you get it to release. There's one on that side and one on this side. And this is what the fixture looks like up in the ceiling after you take the plastic piece off. What you're going to want to do is remove the two Phillips screws, one there and one down here, and then remove the plugs. There'll be some plugs right here. There's two plugs that you need to pull out.
So now that we have the screws removed, these are the two plugs that I was talking about. So you're going to want to remove this plug and this plug. There's just a little things you can squeeze on those and then just pull them out. So this would be a good opportunity to go ahead and clean your light fixture. It's going to have some dust on it. I already went ahead and cleaned this. It's going to be covered probably in some dust and all that. You're going to want to clean all this up here too, as best you can. Now, you're going to want to make sure you have the power disconnected if you get up in there in that fan, and even to disconnect these plugs, just make sure you have the power disconnected first, because you're not going to want that fan to come on if you got your fingers up in there trying to do a little bit of cleaning. So, yeah, so this is kind of what mine looked like after I cleaned it. It's still not great, but it's a lot better than it was. So this is the LED light kit that I bought on Amazon for this unit here. And it consists of two LED bulbs that attach the same way as the fluorescents did. But like I said earlier, you're going to have to bypass the ballast or the two ballasts that are in this fixture in order for these LEDs to work properly. And to do that, there's some wiring that needs to be done. So here, it kind of explains how to do that right here. And I'm going to go through this in more detail, which wires I connect to what wires and what wires I cut. So the next step is going to be to open this guy up. And I'm going to open it by removing these four screws here. So apparently it was more than just those four screws. There were two more screws out here. So there's six screws total to remove. But once you remove the screws, you can take that cover off, set that down, and you can see in here all the different wires that we're going to be cutting and joining together. So I'll go through that in a moment. The first thing I'm going to do is just get all these wires kind of out of this area where they're all tucked in here so we can have a little bit of room to work. So we're going to be cutting these wires and bypassing the ballast. This is the ballast. So there. So one of the things that I am not using on this fixture is the night light. That's this wire here. So I can either just put it back in or just get it out of the way for now and put it back in at the end. Either way, it doesn't really matter. I'm not using it. So let's see. What we're going to want to do is coming off of the ballast, we have a black and a white wire. Now, according to the instructions here, it says that the ballast is a black and white wire on the input side. It also has 2 red and 2 blue output wires. To bypass this ballast, cut all 6 wires. Okay. Then it says you can connect the 2 red wires to the black wire. So we're going to connect these 2 red wires to the black wire once we cut them. Then we're going to take the 2 blue wires and connect them to the white wire. And it's just that simple. So let's go ahead and start cutting this. So let's cut this off. Let's cut it off here because we need to end with the plug. We're bypassing the side with the ballast. So let's cut it off right here. And we'll just put this to the side. And then let's cut the red wires. And let's cut the blue wires. And let's just tuck these wires away because we're not going to be using them. Let's see, we have another set of the blue and the red that we're going to be needing to cut also. So cut those guys off. Let's just get all these out of the way for now. That can be out of the way. This is all ballast, and we don't care about this anymore. So we'll eventually cut these wires off even more, just right at the ballast. The ballast can stay. I don't know. Maybe we can just even take that ballast out. Let's actually just do that. Looks like it's just held in with these 2 screws. Let's just take the whole thing out of here. We won't even have it anymore. So you can see here that it's the ballast. Only needed with the fluorescent bulbs. Since we're going with LED, we don't need this. So now we need to strip all these wires. I won't bore you with that. So I'm going to go ahead and do that off camera, and I'll come back when we're ready to make the connections. Okay, now that we have all the wires stripped, as it said here, the 2, let's see, the 2 red wires get connected to the black, but we have 4 because there's 2 bulbs. So the 4 red wires will get connected to the black wire. Let's go ahead and here and separate them out a little bit. Get the black wire in there. Get them all together there good. Take our wire nut, twist it on there good. Pull on all these wires, making sure we have a solid connection. And then, as the instructions said, we'll take all the blue wires and connect it to the white. Our wire nut, twist it on. Good. Now twist, pull on all the wires. So there, good and snug. Now we just need to tuck all these wires back in this little channel where they were in before. Remembering that the black and white wires are going to have to exit over here, and this little strain relief came off before. So we get that put back on and just kind of get it into position there. And then we'll put the cover back on. So we have all our wires run. Everything is neat there. Cover back on. Help hold that strain relief. Okay, now that we got the cover put back on, we got our connector here. And like I had mentioned earlier, I did away with the night light because that wasn't even wired up anyway. We were not using that. So it wasn't doing any good for us. So I didn't even bother putting that back in. And when you go to put this back in, the only thing you're gonna have to make sure of is this plug. Make sure that you put it in the right way. You can notice there's a flat on this side, and this side of it is kind of rounded. So you just have to make sure you line it up that way with the receiving end when you go to put this back together. So we're gonna go ahead and plug this in. I'm gonna mount this back in, this whole fixture back in with the 2 screws in each end. Oops, sorry. And then put the housing cover back on. Okay, so here we have the bulbs, and they just plug in the same way that the fluorescent bulbs did. And there we are with the plastic cover back on and the light. So that was how you convert the Panasonic fan light fixture, bathroom fan light fixture, from a compact fluorescent to an LED. I hope this video helped you. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you next time.